Howdy, folks. Oh, my God. Oh, oh. Allergies are a bitch right now. Howdy, folks. Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, coming at you live on this Thursday gaming chat. I hope everybody is doing well. Gonna do some Greyhawk for show and tell today. Seems fitting. All right, so let's see how this thing works. Okay, so it's just, according to this, it's just me and Chupa. Hey, Chupa. So, yeah, my campaign update was a little later in the week than it normally is because every time I went to go do it, hey, bipedal species is here. How are you? Every time I went to do it, some shit happened. Some, as you call it, real life stuff, happened. Alex is here. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's being accurate today, the participants thing. So, okay. So yeah, because earlier I was gonna do it earlier in the week like I normally do. Well, Monday was a holiday, and then I was gonna do it Tuesday. My wife had the day off, and she went and got her oil changed, and of course they fucked it up. Because she came back, and there was oil dripping in the driveway, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. Even if it was residual, it wouldn't drip that much. So we ended up going back over there, and of course I had to. Let's just use the term sweet talk. I had to sweet talk the staff there to take another look and make sure that they did everything right, because I know they didn't. And they ended up hosing it down in the engine and all this other bullshit, and then they came out and they tried to give me a whole song and dance about, well, with these 3.6 liter engines, there's this oil reservoir, overflow reservoir, that's on these Jeeps that if it takes a special tool to take that cap off, and if you don't get it back on right, it can leak. This whole bullshit thing. I let him say his whole fucking spiel, right? And then I told him, well, that's funny because we have a 3.2 liter. We don't have a 3.6 liter. So your whole fucking argument just completely went out the window, dude. But I let him go on. He had a thing laminated. They have this thing rehearsed, I guess, for Jeeps that and I was like, I let him say the whole thing. I was like, I'm gonna make him earn this. And I was like, nah, it's a 3.2 liter, dude. It's not a 3.6. Matter of fact, if you go out there and look, when you lift up the hood, it right on the engine cover, it says 3.2 liter. Jesus Christ. How embarrassing for these people, right? So they stuck by their guns, saying, well, that's it, that's the problem, and everything. And so I said, all right, well, I said, if it leaks still, I'm gonna bring it back again. And so we brought it home, and I told my wife, I said, we gotta let the water dry because they hosed it all down and everything. I said, but after that, we're gonna check it again. And I said, so one of two things has happened. Either they did a really sloppy job and spilled oil all over the engine, and that's what was dripping, which is bad. That shouldn't happen anyway. Or they didn't tighten something down that they should have, like they didn't have the oil pan nut tightened down all the way, or the filter, they didn't have the filter set right, or whatever. But I said, if it stops, basically whatever it was that they fucked up, they must have fixed it. They found it, they fixed it, and then they tried to give us a song and dance trying to blame it on the 3.6 liter engine. Well, we don't have a 3.6 liter, you dickheads. So I had to do that whole that whole fight, that was a day shot. So anyway, long story short, that's how this week has been going. So I was late doing the campaign update. I ended up doing it today. I tried to get it out as early as I could so that you guys would have a chance to watch it if you wanted to, so we could talk about it or whatever. Bipedal says, I said a window wasn't square ones and assured it was, and told him this and that, and told this and that, and heard them banging away, fix it, went away. Yeah, I mean, why can't they just own it? Why can't they just say, you know what, you're right. We'll check, we'll make sure we might not have tightened something right or whatever. Why not just own it? Why? Specifically, and it's like, how fucking stupid do they think I am, to not know what size motor I have in my car? Not to mention the fact that the minute you open it, the entire end, there's a big engine cover over the thing, and it says in letters that big, 3.2 liter. And it's like, my guy, 3.2 liter. You're giving me this fucking spiel about a 3.6, and specifically only the 3.6. It even has on this thing, he had laminated and everything. Only that motor. It has, well, I don't have that one. So your argument's out the window. You guys screwed up. Just say, hey, you know what? We found we didn't tighten something down, whatever. And so, no, nothing. No compensation for me taking my day and having to dick around and go and check the car, then go over there, try to argue with them, wait for them to get it all, whatever it was that they did, hose it out and everything else, bring it back home, let it dry out, check it again, put a piece of cardboard under in case it started dripping. All that bullshit that I had to do was completely unnecessary. And was I offered any compensation for the oil change? No, not a goddamn thing. So, well, yeah, and you make a good point there, Bipedal. No compensation. That's why no admission of mistake in your case. You're probably right. They have that whole spiel about trying to blame it on the motor and everything because they don't want to take ownership, because then I might say, well, hey, how about my next oil change is free for me spending my whole day here that was unnecessary because you guys screwed up, But no, anyway, so that's how the week has gone. That's why the campaign update was later. I don't know if anybody, I know that Chupa saw it because he commented on it. So, but if anybody else has any questions, feel free to put them in there. We can talk about those today. I put in the description here that we were going to talk about Final Fantasy 16 because it looks like the trailer dropped today. I watched it a little bit earlier, and let's see here. So, let's open a new tab. Okay, so yes, it came out today, and I've already watched it, and a lot of people are making a lot. It was trending on Twitter that Bahamut, the dragon, is in that game. I think Odin is in it. Titan, Odin, and Bahamut, the what we would call the Platinum Dragon in Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know the history of Bahamut. I thought it was strictly it was a Dungeons and Dragons like creature, but apparently it must have a mythological history, lore to it or something, because the fact that it's in Final Fantasy tells me it must not be something that's owned by Wizards of the Coast. When does the Dolmenwood hardcover book come out? Hey, Bastille. I do not know. I know that Jonathan, the one who's DMing us through this whole campaign, he will know for sure, because they have a Patreon page and you can join their Patreon like as a subscriber, and then you get access to all the stuff. And so my history bipedal of Bahamut is that it's the Platinum Dragon in Dungeons and Dragons. Now, if it has a history in mythology, that would make perfect sense. I don't know it though. I don't know any other history other than it. If you go in the original monster manual for first edition D&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Bahamut is the platinum dragon, and there's only one. Bahamut is there's only one platinum dragon. Bipedal says, I never played D&D. Please don't ban me. I wouldn't think of doing such a thing. All gamers, actually, everybody's welcome here. But a gamer is a gamer, you know. Hey, we're all part of a big, and basically anybody that follows nerd culture, geek culture, whatever you want to call it, because we talk about that stuff here too. We talk about Star Trek, Star Wars, MCU. So just the fact you never played D&D doesn't bother me a bit. I highly recommend it, but it doesn't bother me that you didn't. Man, sideburns are going crazy. That's all right. This is all going away anyway. So. Yeah, I don't. I own a PS3. That's the console I have. I don't have anything since PS3 because I refuse to fight with the crowds and the scalpers, or not the scalpers, but the snipers or whatever you want to. Scalpers, I guess, is a good term too, for the people that buy 50 PS5s and then sell them on eBay double the price, of the sticker price. Because I refuse to do that, to feed into that mania. So I still have my PS3. So and I know a lot of people that have they finally got either a PS5 or a Xbox. What is it? Xbox One X, I think now is the latest one, which is a whole different topic. Who the hell came up with? At Microsoft came up with their naming strategy, their scheme for going Xbox to Xbox 360 to Xbox One. It's like, the fuck kind of sense does that make, that order? I mean, damn. PlayStation, easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then again, PS3 now has a secondary login for security. Really? That shows how long it's been since I played a game on my PS3. Yeah, but being a PC gamer, you know, I just go when I need to go pick up a rig. I go pick up a rig. I don't build my own, so for me, it's just I go buy a rig, and I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, people that want whatever the hottest card is, video card, whatever the highest end card is for that particular moment in time, they have to do the same thing with trying to find video cards. I don't need the most up to date Titan card, that's out. I have no problem having an older card, so I don't have to fight and try and argue with people or pay exorbitant prices and all that. Not building your own is blasphemy. Well, I'll tell you why, Bipedal. I have too much anxiety to try and build my own rig. Way too much anxiety. I would be stressing about frying the motherboard or frying the processor or frying the video card because I did something wrong, didn't hook up, didn't put on the thermal paste the right way and didn't seat it right. And no, I'm way too much anxiety for me to try and do that bullshit. Because if I did that, and I'm the one that just screwed myself out of $500 for a motherboard or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't have that kind of confidence that I could build a rig. Now, when it comes to plumbing and stuff like that, because I did that for a living, as a pool guy, I have a lot of confidence with that, but building a computer, nah, too much anxiety. They have a QR code now for PS3, huh? Bastille says, my first build was a 486 DX long time ago. So back in the day with the 486, well, hell, the 8088s, then the 286s, 386s, 486s, Pentium, all through that period there. I'm sure that the real young people here just think I'm speaking in hieroglyphics right now because they don't know what any of those numbers mean. But um, in those days, I didn't build my own rig necessarily, but I did upgrade my own rig. So like if I had to swap out a video card or put in some RAM or whatever, it was pretty easy and pretty straightforward. Um, so uh, that I was okay with. Um, but when they started changing the PCI cards to PCI, 3 or 2 or 3 or whatever it was, and they started changing the. Uh, well, I'll tell you what broke me. I'll tell you what broke me. I remember it now. If you're old enough to remember Voodoo cards, video cards, Voodoo was like the shit at the time. Um, I had a rig, and I went to upgrade it, and I went and I bought a new Voodoo card, brought it home, got the rig on the table, opened it up, put my anti-static wristband on, so you're grounded, so you don't zap, your rig with too much electricity or whatever, and took out the old video card, pulled out the new card, go to put it in, and it was too fucking long. The card, the card seated in the connectors, in the motherboard, in the slot, but it was physically too long to I can't remember what it was. There was a carriage that pulled out. There was a carriage that pulled out to get to everything, and you put the cards, and then you had to push the carriage back in, and you couldn't push the carriage back in because the fucking card was too long, and that broke me. I was like, God damn it! I was like, how the hell am I supposed to know that it's even? Why would they make a card that's too long for some cases? And that's when I was like, that's it, I'm done. That was the moment. Um, and if I remember, what I ended up having to do was the carriage stuck out, and the carriage had your hard drives and your CD drive. So I had dual CD drives back in the day when you could copy CDs and stuff like that. I had 2 CD drives and my hard drive and a flop. I think I had a floppy, 3.5-inch floppy still at the time, and um, so the carriage that wouldn't go back in was for all that, and I had to get longer ribbon cables or something to run the ribbon cables to the stuff because the carriage wouldn't fit in all the way. So I could get it, so I could, with the longer cables, I could still make it work. But I had to, was it bungee cords? Because the carriage was hanging out. I think I took bungee cords and I just wrapped bungee cord around the front of the carriage to the case so that the fucking carriage with my drives and everything didn't fall out. There. That's why there's the story as to why I don't build my own rigs now. So, yeah. Bipedal says you never know pain until you had to reinstall someone's ATI video or sound card. Mental pain. Yeah. Now, then you get into the whole issue with drivers back in the day. Now drivers are easy. Back in the day, and so Bipedal says I lost a drive because I had to sit it on top of my case. So you know my pain. So there you go. So that was what broke me, Bipedal. That whole experience is what I said. You know what? I'm done dicking around inside the computer. I will buy the rig, and if I need to have it upgraded, I'll look at it and say, is it worth upgrading, or should I just go get a new rig? And 9 times out of 10, I just go get a new rig. So, and yes, I probably have in my storage, I probably have about 10 rigs of my old, going all the way back to, I got rid of my 286. I gave that away to my buddy's niece years ago. But I think I might have a Pentium back there, Pentium 1 for sure. And I've got about 10 different rigs. I got a Gateway rig. I got a Dell, I think. I got what I got one that was, um, oh, what the hell was it? A compact. There was a brushed aluminum case. I still have that case, and so all that stuff. My understanding is that kind of stuff actually is going up in value because they're considered like vintage now, and they're collector's items and shit. So who knows? One day I might be able to sell them. Who knows? But your carriage was hanging out because your floppy was too long. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. Chances are that if you have enough cores and a big enough PSU, all you need now, you will need to upgrade in years to come is the graphics card. That's good to know. Yeah, because I remember going to Babbage's and Electronics Boutique and getting more RAM, getting a new Voodoo card, getting a new sound card, Sound Blaster card. That was, you had to do that to upgrade your stuff, and then you had to get a new. As soon as speeds went up on modems, old dial-up modems, you had to get a faster dial-up modem. Because remember, it was what was it, 28 baud, and then it went to 33 baud, I think, or I can't remember what the rates were, but 56 was the top. I think it got to 56, and then that's when dial-up went away, basically. Wow, there's a trip down memory lane I didn't think we were going to go down today. And speaking of computers, they just my PC from 2012, 5950, 64 gigs of RAM, and an SSD from 2012, huh? That's 10 years ago, dude. 64 gigs of RAM. So the one rig I got here, that's the one that Windows 10 bricked my rig, is sitting here. That one was custom built for me. I paid a guy to build this one for me, and it's a beautiful rig. And I remember when I asked him to put 32 gigs of RAM in that, and he was like, "Dude, what do you need 32 gigs of RAM for?" And I was like, "Just put 32 in, please. If I'm doing it, let's go ahead and go with 32." The RAM I have now, or the rig I have now that I bought pre-built, Cyber PC or whatever it is, that one only has 16, and I wish it had 32. Um, so, yeah, yeah, being PC gaming is expensive, no matter how you look at it. But I guess consoles are expensive now too, so doesn't matter. We're all gonna game. We're gonna figure out a way to sell. We're gonna sell a kidney, whatever we gotta do to game. So ain't nobody stopping us. So, um, I wanted to running 128 gigs of RAM, but you use virtual machines. Okay, wow. I wish I had. I just wish I had 32 in this current rig I've got. Um, I think I'd be happy with that. So let's talk about Final Fantasy 16. I wish Mistra was here. She seems to be our Final Fantasy expert. It looks like it's going to be truly exclusive to PlayStation 5. Yeah, it doesn't even look like it's scheduled to release on PC. Now that doesn't mean it won't. It may down the line as a port, but they don't even have that listed as I went on Wikipedia, it just has PS5. So maybe they're planning on doing it for PC at some point down the road, but it's not planned right now. Um, so I don't know, how does everybody feel about that? Because the only Final Fantasy game I've ever played was the MMO Final Fantasy 14. So I'm not up on the lore. I'm sure there's a oodles of lore because that series has been going for so long. I don't know why I never got into like even the single player ones. I'm not sure why. I'm trying to remember way back, why I never got into the Final Fantasy series. I'm not sure, but It might have been that a lot of it was titles weren't on PC. So, the other gaming news, let's see here. Find here. There was one other thing I wanted to. Well, we got the Dragon Age announcement today. The next game in the series is going to be called. Where is it here? Dreadwolf, I think. That's such a cool name. That's a perfect name for a Dragon Age game, Dreadwolf. That just sounds badass. Okay, so let's see here. There was another story. Resident Evil 4 remake announced. So that goes right along with all the other. They've been doing remakes of all of them as they go. So let's see here. There was one about the world's biggest computer. There's a new title, a new computer at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory just broke the record. And they built a new, like a computer the size of a room, and it's supposed to be like the first. I don't know what it is, petabyte, not petabyte, whatever. There's one a lot bigger than petabytes. Supposed to be, but I can't find it right now. I suppose I can do a search for Oak Ridge National Laboratory. Okay, go to news and. Okay, Oak Ridge National Lab unveils Exascale, is what it's called. Oh my God, you guys got to check out this the pictures. I mean, it's an entire room for one computer. It's an exascale supercomputer designed to accelerate discoveries in areas such as disease diagnosis and prognosis, new materials, drug discovery, and renewable energy. It has reached a performance of 1.1 exaflops, making it the world's fastest supercomputer based on the top 500 list. I don't even know what that means. 1.1 exaflops. Uh, who knows what that means? But it is now the top. I was reading the specs earlier about like how much memory memory and storage and all these different things that it had. Crazy. Oh yeah, Diablo Immortal came out. So we got Diablo Immortal that came out. We got the Final Fantasy 16 announcement. We got the name or the trailer drop for Final Fantasy 16 and the name announcement for the Dragon Age game, Dreadwolf. So yeah, if you Google there's a whole bunch of stories. If you just Google the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, or Exascale, I guess what is the name of the computer, you can see all the pictures of the whole room of just giant rooms of or rows of processors. You know, it's crazy. See if I missed anything here. I think I'm caught up. Wow, that's an impressive PC. That's what the DM said. Actually, I don't know if I've ever heard a DM say that. Usually they're too busy trying to kill the PCs. You guys want to do show and tell now? The City of Greyhawk box set. I have not played Age of Empires 4 or Dune. No, I have not played either one of those. The last Age of Empires game I played, I think, was Age of Empires 2. So, in this box set, and as we know, I won't open this all the way, but you get a city map of the city of Greyhawk. Now, for those that may not know, whoever it was in here, who was it that said they've never played Dungeons and Dragons? Was it Bipedal or was it Alex? Bipedal. Okay. So Bipedal, for your benefit, the world of Greyhawk is one of the original game worlds for Dungeons and Dragons. It's my favorite. That's why I go by Greyhawk 4x4. And this is a box set for that game world, for the tabletop game. And this is specifically for the city of Greyhawk, which is probably the largest city in the realm. So you get the city map, and then this is a different map, and I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember what this is for. Oh, this is a different map of the city of Greyhawk, and I'm not sure where this came from, because this has tape on it, and I didn't damage this. This might have come in a collection, because my box set is new. So this is a different city of Greyhawk map. I don't know where this came from, but it's not. It was not mine originally. I must have got it in a collection, and I just put it in. That's why I didn't mind opening this one, because it's already taped. So. Okay. So first book, Greyhawk, folk, feuds, and factions. It's going to be all about the people of the city of Greyhawk. No, Linda's asked, was Greyhawk Dave Arneson's creation? No, that was Blackmore. The world of Blackmore is the original, the very first campaign world for Dungeons and Dragons. Greyhawk was the first published. Blackmore was published later, but Dave created Blackmore first. And they all used it to play test and everything in Blackmore. And then Gary created Greyhawk. And of course, Gary being the boss, he released Greyhawk first. There's actually a documentary on Prime Video about I think it's called, is it Eye of the Beholder or the Legend of Blackmore or something like that. There's a couple of them, and one of them is all about that whole history of that. So anyway, this is the first one, and it says the good, the bad, and the in-between, people who make the city what it is. And so for instance, you get in here the Mint Workers Guild, the Union of Money Changers and Pawnbrokers, the Lamplighters Guild, the Guild of Lawyers and Scribes, the Merchants and Traders Union. So it's all the background information on it. The Guild of the Night Watchmen. So you get all the background on all these different factions and groups and everything in here. So it's very handy. Very handy if you're going to be having your PCs go through the city of Greyhawk to read through this stuff. Then you get a series of cards that each one is like a little adventure hook. So this is it's called Wine Harvest as an adventure. And it basically says terrain, hills, total party level 6, average first level, total gold pieces variable, and monster XP is 5,400 and something. And it's basically a adventure into some goblin caves for first level characters. But you get a shit ton of these cards. I don't know if you guys can see how many. I mean, there is a bunch of these things. Vote for the goat. Party level is 18, average third level. Let's see here. Levels 24, average fourth level, average sixth level, seventh level. So seventh level in average 10th level. the Lich Staff. Total party level 60. So like 6 10th level characters. 10th level in first edition AD&D is like ridiculously powerful for player characters. I mean, you can go, it's unlimited how high you can go, but at 10th level, you're pretty freaking powerful already. So anyway, so you get a shit ton of these things. And then there's monster statistics for each of the ones on the back of all the encounters and everything. So real handy for a DM. So this is one of the better box sets they ever put out for Dungeons and Dragons. Is City of Greyhawk. Next book was Greyhawk, Gem of the Flaness, a gazetteer of the free city of Greyhawk and the surrounding area. And this is all about, there's a map in here. So the Grand Citadel. So this is like all the maps and the descriptions of all the buildings and everything in the city. Universities, Sages Guildhall, the River Quarter, you name it. So this is all the locations, and the other one was all the basically the people, the factions, all that stuff. Then you had the cards, which were all the encounters and quests. Yeah, see, this is the other part of that map, and this is not my. So this blue one was one I must have got in a collection, and I just added it to the box because that's not mine either. And then there's some additional maps here. I'm gonna look on the back here. Because this comes with, you get 4 full-size, full-color maps, each depicting a different aspect of the Greyhawk campaign. So you have 1, 2. So let's see here. So you get this one here. So you get that one. You got this one that has the near div, which is a gigantic lake. And then 2 of, let's see here. So there's that one. So these are the same. Are these the same map? These are the same map. So why do I have 2 of the same? Yeah, I have a feeling that I got oh, I see, it's double. Is it double-sided? No, it's not double-sided. Yeah, I'm a little confused as to why. So maybe this is mine. So this must be mine. This one's new. So that other blue one that's taped must be one I got. So that I've come. Yeah. So this one's mine. This is brand new. So that other one, this one, it has tape and shit on it. It's all torn and it's got tape and shit on it right here. That must have been from somebody else's collection that I bought, and I just threw it in as an extra. So, but I'm not sure. And this, so I have 2 of these too, so that must have been an extra from them too. So you get, basically you get these 4 maps, the 2 books and the cards is what you get in the box set. So. So yeah, you get four maps, 2 books, and all those adventure cards. And that other stuff is just extra. So there you go. That's why the box is heavier, because it's got extra shit in it. So that is the City of Greyhawk. There's the back. If you guys want to read it, you can always take a screenshot of that. But yeah, that's one of the better box sets they ever put out. Chupa says, Darlene maps were by far the greatest maps ever in D&D history, in my opinion. I agree with you. I have the 4-panel one on my wall right here. And I was fortunate enough I got to meet her, and I bought a print from her one of her Dragon magazine covers, and she signed it for me. So I was pretty happy with that. So let me go back up here and make sure I didn't miss anything. Chupa says, I have the new Dune books, but haven't played it yet. I have not, I don't have the books or have not played it. Okay. So that takes care of show and tell. Let's go back to gaming news and see if there's anything else to talk about here. I'm not sure. I've been reading articles about the Duke Nukem Forever, AI generated Duke Nukem Forever. I'm not sure. I need to look some more into that and find out what the hell they're talking about, because I heard that they're releasing Duke Nukem Forever again, like, but it's free or something, and it's completely been redone or something. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look some more into this, because this looks kind of a complex news story. I'm gonna need to read some more into that. Let's see what it says about Dragon Age Dreadwolf. It says that more will be revealed later this year. EA dropped a surprise reveal today, officially confirming the full title, Dragon Age 4 Dreadwolf. Of course, I don't have any. I have almost as little faith in anything EA says as I do Activision Blizzard. But Activision Blizzard beats them out currently as the worst AAA game company, period, right now. But I'm sure Ubisoft and EA and all the other ones are going to fight to get back on top as best they can, I'm sure. Okay. So we got the Resident Evil 4 remake, Sims 4 Werewolves. Wow. Well, they milk those Sims games. They milk the DLC more than, I think, that and the Civ, like Civilization games. Those two, they milk the DLC more than any other franchises. Like the amount of, well, Borderlands has a ton of DLC too, though. Bipedal says, aren't EA getting attacked for not being woke and supporting Gay Pride Month while looking for a buyer? I did not read anything about that. I'm not. Anything's possible, of course, but EA, where franchises go to die. Yeah, well, absolutely. BioWare, and there's just been a shit ton of Is Raven one of theirs? There's just been a shit ton of them that and game companies that they bought and then they just die out. BioWare hurt the most. But I missed your question up there earlier. Are the maps the playing boards, or do you just pretend to move your stuff around? No. So bipedal, there's you can probably see it. So right there, there's a game mat. There's a battle mat, is what they call that, where that second lantern, where this lantern is on top of, right there. So right there, there. And that's what you use to put your figures and all that stuff on. The maps that are like in these box sets and whatnot, those are just visual aids to be able for the DM to be able to see where everybody is. They're way too small to put minis on and all that stuff. But Now a lot of people are putting LCD screens in their tables, flat in their tables, where you could basically project onto that part from the maps in here. If you had a digital version of it, you could blow it up on the TV screen in the table and put your minis on. People have done that, but I ain't doing that. So yeah, well, they've already lost the name, right? Bipedal. I thought it was announced that it would no longer be called FIFA. Like they'll still have the soccer game and all that, but my understanding was the decision was already they won't be able to call it FIFA anymore. That's my understanding, unless that was updated. I just haven't seen it. And we're going to talk a little bit about. I got a couple things to talk about on the entertainment side of things, but I think that's it on the gaming news, the big stuff. So, um, well, I heard by people. I heard that FIFA, the regulating body for soccer, they were the ones that made the decision that they were not going to allow EA to use that the FIFA brand name anymore. That was what I heard. But um, Command and Conquer, that's going back a while. I don't think they don't even have that franchise. They're not making anything for that anymore, are they? I don't think they're making any more, or are they still making them? It's been a long time since I played a Command and Conquer title. They killed Command and Conquer when they released Tiberium Wars. I didn't play that one, so I guess I didn't miss out on much. So has anybody seen Top Gun Maverick? My wife and I went and saw it. Man, that was a good movie. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. You go see it. But if you never saw the original Top Gun, it's almost an absolute must that you have to watch that first before going and seeing Maverick. Because otherwise, you will not get. I mean, they try to like kind of get you up to speed on everything from the first one, but you really got to see the first one. So I'm sure it's streamable. So if you haven't already done so, my fat ass does not go to the movies. Uh, I can't tell you the last movie I saw in the theaters before this one. It's been that long. It was way before COVID. I can't remember it. I have no idea. Um, but I wanted to go see this on the big screen because of the aerial combat, the dogfighting in the jets, and it's all done. All of that is practical special effects. They did not use CGI in the movie. It's practical, real F-18s, real fighter jets. They used the Navy. Everybody, it's incredible. Um, yeah, again, I recommend watching it on Netflix, then going and seeing this one. And I don't normally do that. I don't normally recommend movies to him because I don't go to the movies. I usually watch them when they come on streaming in my living room on my big TV where I can, if I need to get up to take a piss, I can pause it and go pee, or go get a beer or get a snack or whatever. I don't go to the movies usually, but I went for this one and I'm glad I did. So, I'm not gonna do any spoilers or whatever, but the fact that it's practical special effects and they did all the flying and all that stuff, that's crazy. Um, I don't think anybody besides Tom Cruise could have ever made this movie. I just don't see how um, anybody would have done it. So, if you like an action flick, an old fashion, no politics, no no virtue signaling, no uh, nothing political whatsoever, just an action flick, go see this. So, um, and then let's talk about Obi-Wan. So, is there anybody in here that is? We got 10 minutes left. If there's anybody in here that is not caught up on Obi-Wan, please make your voice heard. Put it in the comments. Let me know if you have not, because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But I would love to talk about it, because there's a few things that I really liked about it. But yeah. It's up to you, Bestie. I mean, I don't want to give you any spoilers, dude. And what I can do is I can always wait. Yeah, so let's just not, we're not going to do any spoilers then. Let's just say that, try to think how I can do this without spoilers. There are some excellent elements in the show that I really like. There's some other things that make no goddamn sense. Bipedal is alluding to some of that right now, but I'm not gonna give any spoilers or whatever. Now, having said that, I am enjoying the series because, nitpicking aside, I'm enjoying the series. I love anything that gives me backstory to existing franchises that I like. So, hey, my buddy Chris is here. So you guys know that I'm going on a trip next month. And my buddy that I'm going with is right there, Chris Menor. So, so yeah, Chris, the little girl that's playing Leia, that's playing little Leia, is awesome. She is stealing the show. So, yeah, but I don't want to give any spoilers or whatever, but I'm enjoying the show, but I do have some nitpicky stuff about things that have happened, but we won't do any spoilers. So, yeah, I already mentioned the last time that whenever they're doing chase scenes in these new Star Wars series, they can't seem to get chase scenes down right. They had the space Vespas in Boba Fett, and that whole terrible chase scene through Mos Espa, which was horrible. And then they had the chase scene here with Leia. That's not really a spoiler or anything. There's a chase scene with her, and that was done horribly. It was horrible. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. You know, it wasn't good. So I don't know what it is about chase scenes that I don't understand. But anyway, so anyway, so yeah, my buddy Chris is in here, and we're going to be, as we go on that trip next month. Uh, I'll be doing the updates, like wherever we're at, whether it's game stores, bookstores, um, breweries, restaurants, wherever we're at. I'll be. I haven't decided if I'm gonna. I'd like to do like YouTube Shorts. Shorts are only 60 seconds though. TikTok lets you do up to 3 minutes. I'm long-winded, so I may be leaning towards TikTok just because of that. Now I could do lives on. Uh, I could do lives like in the some of the evenings, like when we're back at the hotel or whatever, and just do a live and kind of do a recap of stuff we did. And then, of course, I'll be like posting pictures to Twitter and probably Instagram, stuff like that. So if you don't already follow me on that, you're gonna probably want to follow me. And then before we leave on the trip, um, if Chris wants, I can give out his like Instagram stuff and stuff. So if he posts stuff, the one thing you got to know about Chris Menor here, he He is huge on Yelp. I don't know how many, Chris. How many reviews do you have on Yelp now? He's known as the Big Kahuna, by the way. Um, but yeah, he's a foodie, true foodie, and he doesn't pull any punches on his reviews and stuff like that. So yeah, he's got several thousand reviews on Yelp, and he's for the last 3 or 4 years, I think he's in the top. He's got that little badge for top reviewer or whatever for Yelp. So when we do this trip, if you guys are interested, you're going to want to follow him on Yelp for the food reviews because he posts pictures on every review. There's always he was doing Elite. That's it, Yelp Elite. He was doing food pictures years before anybody else was doing food pictures. Like he was doing food pictures when you still had to get pictures developed. And then of course it became a thing when Facebook came around. Everybody else started taking pictures of their breakfast and their lunch and their dinner and all that stuff. He was doing that shit years before that. So before it was trendy and all that. So oh, this is Chupa. This is a guy's vacation. Um, yeah, because we're going to hit the Football Hall of Fame, probably the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Correct me if anything I say here, Chris. If I'm wrong, make sure to correct me. The guy that put a camera on a phone never patented it. Really? Wow. Um, but I've already been told that we definitely. I don't even know where the Baseball Hall of Fame is. I know it's Cooperstown, but I don't know I don't know what state that's in. I've already been told by my wife we do not dare go to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I am not allowed to go. She is a huge baseball fan. I've already been told I am not allowed to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame without her. So if that was in your mind, Chris, uh, I will sit in the parking lot. I'm not allowed. I've already been. If I value, if I value my nuts, I don't dare go in the Baseball Hall of Fame without my wife. So right on. So she doesn't care about football. So so that doesn't mean. Yeah, and she's already been to Graceland. So to see Elvis. So yeah, I think everything else is good. So and she's already been to the Amana colonies in Iowa. So I just got to make sure I bring her stuff back. So all right. So yeah, Chris will actually be up here uh, middle of next month, so that we before we go on our trip, we're gonna go do. He's the one we're gonna go do the Evermore with. He's Chris has already been with me and Carol and his wife and Chris's wife. The four of us went to Evermore the last time. Uh, this time it'll probably be me, Chris, and my wife. So if you guys, yeah, I'm laughing too, but Chris knows why I'm laughing because you're saying that like it's a joke, and that literally just went in the memory. That literally went in here. That's hard filed right there. That's firmware now. Oh yeah, Chupa. Got to find where Chupa lives just in case we need help. Yeah, although we've probably come close, but I don't think we've had our fair share of shenanigans, but knock on wood, haven't been arrested yet. So yeah, there were some Jimmy Buffett concerts that yeah, it's all fuzzy, but we didn't get arrested. I have no memory of that at least. So all right, guys. Well, we're gonna hit an hour here, so it's time for me to go do TV time with the wife. We got to go watch Josh Gates. He does. I don't know if you guys follow Josh Gates, the adventure dude on whatever, Discovery or whatever channel he's on. When it goes and does like Indiana Jones shit, we watch him all the time. Um, uh, he does 3 shows on Wednesday nights, so we only watched one from last night. We gotta get caught up. But I will do, Chris. I'll let her know. Oh yeah, Stranger Things. Yeah, I got the green light from her. I'm gonna watch season 4. I need to get on that. Because she's not caught up anyway. She's still on season 1, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch it. So then we can talk about it here. So, all right, guys. I'm out. Until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.